Hello everyone, I'm Catherine of Amateur Decorating Like a Pro. This is the last video in this series and I've had a lot of fun bringing it to you. Just wanted to inspire you to create the things that you're spending a lot of money for. Now this particular video focuses on upcycling a lampshade using jute twine. I'm actually taking an antique lamp that I purchased from an antique shop. However, it had been modified, shall I say. There were some old parts and new parts that had been mixed together and it was really causing a problem with balance in the room. In other words, it was falling over. So I decided to upcycle this antique lamp. So let's go ahead and go to work. Here are the items you will need to complete your project. A lampshade. You can use a recycled one if you want. A pair of scissors and some jute twine. You'll need to get plenty of it to cover your lampshade. Now I purchased my socket as well as my cord, which is actually a 12-foot cord from Lowe's. Yep, I needed the goof off to remove the glue left behind from the lampshade, and I needed pliers to pull away the actual lampshade cover. It was a little stubborn. I decided to store the original lampshade. It was carefully cut away, and those bias cuts can be a little tricky. So in the event I want to upcycle this lampshade again, I can simply lay it on the fabric and cut. Okay, I got my lampshade nice and clean, and now it's just simply time to add the yarn. I tie it on the very bottom of the lampshade, and I simply just start wrapping it around the lampshade, top to bottom. You can actually just sit down and watch television and just wrap your lampshade cover, and it will be a fun, relaxing, therapeutic task. Need to add another piece of twine? Simply go on the inside of the lamp, tie the new piece to the old piece, cut away the excess string, and tuck the knot in between the layers of the lampshade. Now, lampshade this size only took about 3.5 spools to cover. Now, once you've come to the end of covering your lampshade, simply take a small piece of separate twine and then tie it around that loose piece to one of the secure pieces of twine. Cut away the excess ends and tuck it in between the layers. Now, I've taped a few lamp cords in my day, but I've never totally wired a lamp. So here we go. All right, my lamp is now disassembled. This is the shell, the socket, and the old cord. My way of getting that new cord to go through the lamp pole was simple. I simply tied a glue stick to a string, dropped it through the pole, and then I actually took the cord, taped it to the pole, and pulled it back through. That worked for me. Well, I too ended up recycling some of the parts. I ended up using this gold sleeve, the nipple where the wire goes directly through at the very top of the base, and I also use the harp bottom, which is what holds the actual harp that holds the lampshade. You want to strip the insulation on the wires to expose about a 1/2 inch of the bare copper strands. And you want to be very, very careful when doing this. You don't want to damage any of those stripped strands. Now, the one that has that rip effect into it, that one is basically the one that you're going to connect to the lighter color screw. Maybe there's a silver one or a lighter color one, but that's the one that you will connect there. And you want to be sure and cut off any loose strands that are not secure underneath the screw head. I read the instructions very carefully about the socket, and I took note of how the old socket was wired, and I duplicated that step. That knot is called the underwriter's knot. Is in place. I now have my socket cap, and now I'm simply going to place the actual socket back inside of the socket shell cover. I plug in the lamp, and now let's turn it on and see if it's going to work. To the lighting success, I took my lamp outside, added a little chalk paint, distressed it, and waxed it. Oh guys, now my little morning reading nook is just perfect. I have my little Stay Puft Marshmallow Man chair that is so relaxing, and just adding that little lamp to the corner is the finishing touch. I love it. I hope you do. I hope you've enjoyed this video today. I hope you become a subscriber and follow me on many more adventures. And I thank you so much for being here. And as always, stay in prayer and stay creative.